For some time, Apple's iPhones have remained the ideal smartphone with great cameras and better battery life and performance. However, it's no secret that Apple's stronghold on the market has been slipping lately.
Yeah, really.
With Samsung making some serious moves. The newly released Galaxy S23 series clearly shows this. In fact, waiting for iPhone 15's release might not be worth it. This is why. Last year's S22 saw the Korean firm feature an impressive 6.1-inch dynamic AMOLED 2x120Hz display. As it's still among the best in the industry, the Galaxy S23 features the same but with a few slight changes. So, how does it compare to Apple?
What's the secret?
In terms of raw resolution, it's about on par with the iPhone 14 screen, which will likely be retained on iPhone 15. But the Galaxy S23's display pulls ahead thanks to its adaptive 120Hz refresh rate, 1750 nits of peak outdoor brightness, and always-on technology, all of which are features that Apple only offers on its more expensive iPhone 14 Pro. The base iPhone 14 screen is still limited to a 60Hz refresh rate and a 1200 nits maximum brightness. That said, there's a slim possibility of a display upgrade. We'll keep you posted on any updates, so subscribe to our channel and get notified on any subsequent videos. Despite all the other useful features of smartphones, most people usually have an interest in their ability to take photos. Apple's iPhones can capture some of the most accurate and detailed images available today. However, considering that even the iPhone 14 Pro Max has just a 3x optical zoom, its limited zoom capabilities leave much to be desired. Samsung, on the other hand, has garnered praise for their innovative periscope cameras. The Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, for example, features a 10x optical periscope camera. The iPhone 15 Ultra is expected to feature a new 5x zoom. However, it will still fall short of what the Galaxy S23 Ultra offers. Not to mention, the Galaxy S23 Ultra also features a fantastic 200 megapixels camera that can potentially unseat Apple as the market leader in smartphone photography.
Catch us if you can.
Of course, with credit also linked to the new Qualcomm chipset, which improves the quality of images on the S23. Last year, Apple's A15 chip easily outperformed the Galaxy S22 in performance benchmarks. As you would expect, Samsung is back in 2023 with a much improved off-the-shelf Qualcomm Snapdragon chip. For the Galaxy S23, Samsung's collaboration with Qualcomm has created an even more powerful custom Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, which the company claims would increase performance by up to 50% over last year's Galaxy S22. Given Apple's recent emphasis on distinguishing between the base and Pro models, it's likely that the iPhone 15 will use the A16 chipsets, while the iPhone 15 Pro versions will use A17 chipsets. Unlike Apple, Samsung does not save its greatest chip for the expensive Galaxy S23 Ultra. Instead, every model receives the same chipset. This means regardless of the price range, which we'll tell you all about later in the video, you'll get access to the same premium performance. Battery life and charging speeds are two areas where both competitors are getting closer. Last year, though, the Galaxy S22 saw a downgrade in capacity to 3,700 mAh from the 4,000 mAh in the S21. As a result, it was met with a few criticisms, and they were very much heard. This year, the Galaxy S23 features a larger 3,900 mAh battery, and you can count on a full day of use from a single charge, even pushing it to 2 days if you're not using it as a primary device.
Cool, that's cool.
Apple, on the other hand, has always excelled in longer battery life as a result of superior power management. We expect as much as the S23 or slightly longer on the iPhone 15. Also, thanks to the introduction of USB-C on the iPhone 15, will likely get a 27 watts charging speed, but that should not make a huge difference in practical ability compared to the S23's 25 watts charging speed. From individualized services to improved quality of life, the smartphone industry has a lengthy history of mimicking the features of competitors. Samsung's One UI 5.1, which came pre-installed on the Galaxy S23, shared a lot of similarities with iOS 16, causing a lot of buzz among users. While Samsung's One UI draws inspiration from Apple, it steadily improves upon the capabilities and the user-friendliness of standard Android features. The iPhone 15 is expected to feature iOS 17, and despite an initial statement about the iOS 17 missing upgrades, Mark Gurman now says the iOS 17 release is now expected to boast several nice-to-have features, explaining that Apple aims to check off several of users' most requested features. So, it should be very impressive.
Absolutely.
In any case, both are best-in-class platforms, and it all comes down to personal preference. So let us know what you prefer in the comment section. Pricing for both devices has not really seen any drastic changes in the past few years, and will most likely persist. However, due to a few extra features expected to come on the Pro and Pro Max models, this year's pricing could be very different. Both the basic 6.1-inch iPhone 15 and the larger 6.7-inch iPhone 15 Plus are anticipated to keep their current starting prices of $799 and $899 respectively. However, Pro models might just cost $100 more than their predecessors, putting it at $1,099 and $1,199. For the S23 series, the 128GB base model starts at $799, while the Plus and Ultra models cost an additional $899 and $1,199, respectively. So the pricing scheme of both devices is pretty much similar. It's evident that the iPhone 15 and Galaxy S23 have their strengths and weaknesses. The decision between the two phones ultimately comes down to individual preferences and priorities. Still, it can be a tough decision. But in light of massive improvements from Samsung, we think the Galaxy S23 might be the better choice between the two. In case you need more clarity, don't miss out on our next video, because we'll tell you in detail about how the Galaxy S23 performed. The results did not disappoint. See you.